All right, we are back with another edition of Tavern Takes. It's been a little while since we've done a podcast that we're actually recording. Been going live on Facebook, but we got a little time today here. So I'm Josh. I'm joined by Nick Chubb, Resurrection on the screen, Sawyer Huff.
I
We will touch on that. First and foremost, I just want to say Sawyer had an eagle putt today on a
did
par
have me
five that he ended up parring, which
three
it's
putt
still
par.
good. It's still good for our golf talents, but would have been nice to get at least a birdie out of that.
You could have stopped it at that. I had an eagle putt, and we could have just stopped talking about it there. I would have been fine.
It was a long eagle putt, I'll give you that.
Was about a 40-foot.
But you could have made the birdie putt.
Could have the birdie putt was very makeable. It was probably about a 6-footer.
But hey, you did beat me by one stroke, so we'll give you your flowers.
That's fine.
To anybody who's new to any of our golfing talents, Sawyer and I always play rounds within like a stroke or two of each other, no matter which way, every single time we play each other. And it's actually incredible how it happens.
Yeah, I probably had like a 4 or 5 stroke lead, probably about halfway, 4 or 5 holes into the round. Then just slowly gave it away where we were coming down the 9th hole in a dead heat tie.
And then
luckily I was able to get you by a stroke there.
And luckily I put
in the water.
I was gonna say, luckily I put one in the water for you. So, but enough of our golf talent. Let's get into this here. First and foremost, again, like I said, this podcast brought to you by your promo code FAPSTERS. Use promo code FAPSTERS at shankitgolf.com. Get 15% off your golf apparel. Use promo code FAPSTERS at shankitgolf.com. We have a decent amount of sports news. Two championship rounds going on right now between the Stanley Cup and the NBA Finals. Got a little football news, and the Brewers are back. The Brewers have been hated on this pod by more so one Cole. He is not here to join us, so he can't really defend himself on this, but we'll see what happens. Brewers seem to be playing all right baseball, though. But
getting hot.
Let's jump into it. Stanley Cup, Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers. So far, so good. This is a pretty good Stanley Cup.
It's been tremendous. I mean, 2 overtime games, the double overtime game Saturday night. Or was that Friday night? Friday night.
That was Friday night. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, they've been really good games. Obviously, I mean, you go to overtime, it's a close game, but overtimes have been thrilling. It's weird how like high scoring the games have been in, then they get into overtime and it's impossible to score.
Yeah, like nobody scores. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I will say, like, I am very much like a fair weather hockey fan. Like, I like the sport itself. Especially the playoffs. Playoffs are electric in hockey. I get like I can't say much about players, teams, blah blah blah, but like this Stanley Cup, just 2 games in, it's just like you have to put your eyes on the game. Like it's every game from here on out is going to be awesome. Like
it's outstanding television. And speaking like to what you said, like I don't watch a ton of hockey either. I watched the 4 Nations and I've watched the 2 games in the Stanley Cup Final. That's all the hockey I've watched this year. So by no means am I a hockey expert, but I can see when I look at the TV and I watch Connor McDavid skate down the ice, I'm like, that guy's better than everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so fast. He's fun to watch. It's incredible.
Yeah, he is incredible to watch. And
Florida's fucking good though.
They're again, I'm no hockey expert like you said either, but if like people were to ask me who do you think's winning the Stanley Cup, and like I always jump to Florida because I'm like, oh well, they're just a wagon. Like they've been here before. Like the last 3 years they've been in the Stanley Cup. This is a rematch of the Stanley Cup from last year, but Edmonton's also kind of a wagon. So it's just like, Goliath versus Goliath. It's not even David versus Goliath. This is just it's fun to watch. It's must-see TV, honestly. It really is.
It feels like Edmonton has the best 2 players. Like I think McDavid and Draisaitl are the best 2 players in the series, which in basketball, that's going to win you the series like 9 times out of 10 probably.
Yep.
But in hockey, it feels a little different. And I think the Panthers have like 3 through 8 probably.
Probably. Yeah.
But
I couldn't even name those players, but that's just how it feels.
Marshawn's the only one I know. The guy who was in Boston for the
Oh yeah,
majority of
yeah.
the
He
period.
scored that
Yeah,
empty netter or whatever.
He had
Or
the
not? No, it
game
wasn't
winning.
empty netter. The one to go to overtime. Yeah.
He had the game winning goal too in overtime on Friday night. But I mean, yeah, outside of him, I don't know a lot of those guys. But I mean, obviously they won the championship a year ago. They're good at hockey.
They're good at hockey. And I know it was brought up the last stream that Cole and I did. Like some comment came through on our Facebook Live that said, like, isn't it funny that like Florida's good at hockey? Like they're not. They shouldn't be. Like it doesn't feel right. Like it definitely. Edmonton feels right, right? You know, like it's a Canadian team. Like
Way
it feels
fucking
right.
up there. It's cold.
Yeah,
Miami,
feels
right?
right.
It's a great hockey city. What do you mean?
It's arguably the greatest hockey city. You know, in the last 5 years. Yeah. So shout out them. They're doing something. You know, they win again, man. They're doing that franchise is just it feels like they're gonna sustain winning. Like that's
Give me who do you got winning the series from this point on? 1-1 right now. Who and then how many games?
again, by all means, no hockey expert. I have a feeling this is going 7. Like I have a feeling this is just gonna be blow for blow all the way through. I'm gonna go with Edmonton because they have the best player.
Edmonton in 7.
And I know you alluded to the fact that like sometimes in hockey having the best player isn't like always the case, but Connor McDavid just seems like he's on a mission this year. You know, they lost last year to this same team in the Stanley Cup. Like it feels like this is their year, but honestly, it's such a toss-up that I could see either team winning. But I'm gonna my pick, my heart goes with Canada's going to get their first Stanley Cup in like, what was it, like 20 years or whatever it is?
A long time. 25.
A long time. Yeah.
It's
So my heart says Edmonton, but like I would not be shocked at all if it's Florida.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Florida in 7. Mostly just because I don't want Canada to get one. Even though I do,
fair.
I really enjoy watching Connor McDavid. I think I actually like Edmonton more than I like Florida. Like I find myself rooting for Edmonton when I'm watching the games, but I was not a huge fan of the country of Canada. So.
But because we're in the United States, we're going to root for the United States team.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like, that's kind of how I feel too. Like in terms like who I want to win, sure. Like I'll root for the United States team over the Canadian team.
Yeah.
Especially because like how crazy the Four Nations tournament was, and Canada ended up like beating us then at the end and all that. Like,
yeah, I'm
gonna pull for the United States teams more often than not to represent like my country. But
saying Connor McDavid can't win the big one it's just a fun thing to say. Like if you
and that could be
hockey and you're talking to somebody who knows something about hockey, you're like, wow, Connor McDavid can't win the big one. So.
Yeah.
And then I can just fall back on that. It sounds like
us fair weather fans that have no idea what we're talking about besides Connor McDavid can't win the big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It just feels like it has the game 7 written all over it.
It's like 2 overtime games. It seems as tight as it can possibly be to me.
This is what you want in a playoff series in any sport is like the hands down, clear cut, 2 best teams.
Yeah.
Just going at it. Like it's fun. It's a fun Stanley Cup.
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got on hockey though, because I don't know shit about hockey.
Same.
But like I said, playoffs are electric. That's all I got to say.
It's a fun series.
It definitely is.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your Nick Chubb resurrection here, huh?
Yeah. Nick Chubb expected to sign with the Texans tomorrow as long as he passes his physical, which, I mean, probably isn't 100% chance knowing his injury history. But yeah, I mean, like I just said, he's obviously got the last 2 years, he's played a combined 10 games. So I'm not necessarily expecting him to be all pro Nick Chubb by any means, but as a backup running back, if he's 75, 80% of what he was, that's a pretty damn good RB2. And along with Joe Mixon, the revamped offensive line, I'm excited. I'm excited for Texans football. Another name that's well known, put him on the roster. It's what do you got to lose? I can't imagine they're going to be paying him a ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're basically replacing Dameon Pierce with Nick Chubb, you'll take it every day of the week, right?
Right.
I mean, even with Chubb's history of being hurt, and he still has the potential of doing what he could do. He just is
Yeah,
hurt.
and it feels like the NFL is kind of moving towards you almost need 2 running backs. It feels like we're moving in that direction. Like it seems like the good teams have 2 or 3 guys that they give the ball to semi consistently.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it definitely was like a passing league, and it's kind of trending back towards like
back into the run.
The run game is actually beneficial. Let's throw Saquon Barkley into this conversation. Like, look at the Eagles last year. You know, like
exactly.
And Saquon revitalized his. I won't say revitalized his career. I guess like his career was just fine. Like, but him doing what he did last year kind of proves that like running backs can still be worthy.
You can absolutely, if you have a good team, like a great running back can put you over the edge.
Right.
And I think, like I was saying, having a good number 2 running back is now more important than it was probably the last 10 years or so, maybe even 15 years. But like we got 293 yards and 2 touchdowns out of Dameon Pierce last year. I'm assuming even a 75% Nick Chubb will be
better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it was so fun when the Packers had Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones for a mere like 30 minutes.
That was fun to think about.
It was such a fun thought at the moment, and then it just changed so quickly. Yeah. Which that's actually not a shot at our running backs. I actually kind of like Josh Jacobs is a stud, and like it's kind of running back by committee in Green Bay outside of Josh Jacobs then. But like, although I hear Marshawn Lloyd is looking good in OTAs, so we will see. That guy's always hurt too, so who knows?
Have you ever heard a report of like somebody looking bad in OTAs?
It's never a thing. It truly is never a thing.
It doesn't look very good.
I mean, like I love like talking OTAs because football. It just means football's back. You know, like
football's on its way. Yeah,
it's starting to ramp back up to like being back in our line of vision again. But speaking of football, reported here first. I'm not giving Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter and all those bigwigs the credit. Tavern Takes reported first that Aaron Rodgers would be a Steeler back exactly on March 24th. And lo and behold, we were right. But, don't give us our flowers. It's fine.
Yeah, it's messed up. Rappaport didn't give us the credit on that.
I mean, it's truly bullshit, honestly. And I will say the numbers were close on our tweet. It was very close. Very, very close.
Our source had us in the right area.
Yeah. Rodgers signed a deal that's worth up to $19.5 million, $13.65 million guaranteed. Our numbers, our sources came in at $25 million, the up to money, and $15 million guaranteed. So we were only really $1.35 million off on the guarantee and $5.5 million on the deal off. Like, we pretty much nailed that right on the head.
We knew. We'll, nobody else will give us the credit, so we'll give ourselves the credit.
Right.
We had it first. That's just.
And I do hope like this goes viral because I mean it should. It should.
We deserve it.
We actually deserve this one. This one, like this, literally came first from us. So, how do you think that fit's gonna be? So, reason why I kind of ask is because my cousin Damon, who's a Steelers fan, does not want Rodgers on the Steelers. He is not excited for this whatsoever. But I was trying to tell him, I'm like, okay, would you rather have Mason Rudolph and Will Howard running the show out there, like, or would you rather have Aaron Rodgers? Like, I know he's 41, probably past his prime. But like, come on, his numbers weren't bad with the Jets last year, even on a terrible offensive line held team.
And it's the Jets. I mean, it's hard to be good with the Jets. They're a dumpster fire of an organization. And the Steelers are kind of the opposite, where they're an extremely good, strong organization. Aaron Rodgers kind of gets that, that culture he wants. Like he was talking a few months ago about the Green Bay culture and how he missed that in New York. He kind of gets that culture again. I think, Green Bay and Pittsburgh are pretty comparable in that way.
I was gonna say, like, if you want to like compare Green Bay like to another team culture wise, it does feel like it's the Steelers. Like,
Yeah.
very comparable in terms of how they're coached, in terms of how like their front office is, in terms of like sustained winning over the course of decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what, like, Tomlin's never had a losing season. That is the Packers. That's essentially the Packers in a nutshell too. Like, we've had 2 in the last 20 years or whatever it might be, whatever that comes out to be. Like, the culture is there for him.
Yeah, it'll be a more stable situation, which is what he said he wanted. Obviously, he has DK Metcalf there. I think Freiermuth is a decent tight end, but the rest of the wide receiver room leaves a little bit to be desired, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see how many of his guys end up on that roster before, training camp starts. But
like, Calvin Austin is like wide receiver 2, basically.
Yeah,
like, that's not great wide receiver.
It's not who you want as your wide receiver 2, I don't think.
Right. But like, better defense, better. But I will say this. If this fails, is Tomlin truly like out?
I mean, I
kind of
guess
question that. Like, I'm not saying he is, but
it feels like the two side, like Pittsburgh and Tomlin, maybe been starting to clash a little bit. Just it's hard to stay in the same place for as long as he has already.
right.
And if you don't start getting mega results soon, like if you're not competing in at least AFC Championship games, Super Bowls, I think regardless of who the quarterback is, that relationship may have come to an end. But no, to answer your question, I still think no. I don't think, just like if this 1 year of Aaron Rodgers blows up in their face, I don't think that's necessarily the end.
So that was like my only kind of question, is not necessarily the Rodgers thing, but the Tomlin thing. Like, because in comparison to Green Bay, much like Green Bay when Mike McCarthy was around, sustained winning throughout the course of his entire career with Green Bay, but like his ways just kind of grew old, like, right? Like, that's why he ended up truly getting ousted at the end. It just kind of feels like Tomlin's kind of on that track, and Rodgers maybe isn't like the greatest person to like. You might get fired because of Rodgers. Like, I don't think it will. Again, I don't think, like, this is all me saying, I don't think it's going to happen. But because, like you said, I don't think 1 year Rodgers is going to trump that. But
yeah, they have a long sustained relationship, and it's, I mean, and I think part of it is, are they all of a sudden, like, if they go 2-15 this year and they're in position to draft Arch Manning, then maybe I could see wanting to get like a young offensive minded coach in there,
right,
if that's what happens. But nothing in Tomlin's track record or the Steelers' track record as a franchise says that it's all of a sudden going to blow up. So assuming this is at the very least another decent 500-ish year for Tomlin, I can't see this being the last year.
Right. Is this the last year of Rodgers?
I think yes. I mean, the only way, if it goes poorly, I think he's done for sure. If they win the Super Bowl, I think he's done for sure. I guess the only way you maybe get one more year of Rodgers is if they're really good in the regular season and they lose in the AFC Championship or something like that, that maybe he thinks, I got one more try with this roster left in me. But even that seems unlikely. I think 95% chance that this is Rodgers' last year.
Because we're not going to get – Rodgers is not that guy that's going to do like the farewell tour of like Tom Brady, like these greats that like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, these guys, because he was in that era of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We're not going to see the same farewell tour because he's just not that guy.
Yeah, I don't think he'll like, I don't think it'll be like week 4 and he's like, this is going to be my last year. Like, I don't think we get that. No. It'll be more of a Brett Favre thing at the end of the year where we don't know if he's coming back or not.
Right. Yeah. It would just, like, it's kind of sad to like know that this could be his last year. I mean, like, we grew up watching this guy, you know what I mean? Like, this could be it for that generation. He is that last generational that last class of these generational quarterbacks that we watched growing up. And like,
yeah, he is the last remaining of those guys.
It's odd to see him at 41, like, still doing it. but we're not going to get like the farewell tour like that we got from all these guys,
Yeah.
But no, he's going to take an ayahuasca trip. Think about it. We might run this whole thing back next year and then decide if he's going to play again or retire. It's going to be
I forgot. There is one more scenario where he comes back next year, and that's if JJ McCarthy sucks in Minnesota.
Could be relive the Favre thing and just
if he's like decent, like has a pretty good year. Steelers are a playoff team, maybe not necessarily a Super Bowl contender, but like a solid team, and Aaron has a good year, and Minnesota takes a step back, and JJ McCarthy sucks. I could see it.
I could actually see that too. And honestly, that's still, if the roster maintains, that's still a decent roster. And you have
Jay Jettis and Jordan Addison,
and you got Kevin O'Connell, who's top three coach in the league.
Probably.
I would at least say a top 3 coach in the league, but maybe we can argue it, I guess, but that's for another pod. But yeah, man, I just want we need to get our flowers though. National media needs to check out Tavern Takes because
Ian Rappaport, you're a coward if you don't give the credit to Tavern Takes.
Ian Rappaport, Schefter, all of ESPN, NFL Network, y'all suck.
Yeah,
it was us first.
It's disgraceful.
It was us first. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of all we got for the NFL, though, right? I mean, there's really not much outside of just OTAs. There's really not. I heard that CJ Stroud is not throwing right now. Is that true?
No, he's throwing already.
Okay. I heard he had like some shoulder soreness or something.
Shoulder soreness. It was the typical. There's not really anything to talk about right now. Let's blow this up.
That's fair. Yeah. I just wanted to see, if you had something to say about it. Like, I don't know, young 20s quarterback, shoulder soreness, right? It's not good.
Me and D'Amico Bryans are both triple not worried. We're so not worried, we got to say it 3 times. Not worried.
I did hear on PMT, though, that, saying that many worries, does that make you worry?
Nope, doesn't make me worried. Nope.
Okay. All right.
Not worried.
All right. Heard it here from the Texan guy first, so not worried. Just like D'Amico Ryans.
Not worried.
But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on in the NFL, just OTAs. We're ready for football. Let's just say that. We're starting to get to that lull of sports that it's truly just going to be baseball.
We're about 2 weeks away when the finals and the Stanley Cup Final are over, where we either got to talk about baseball or get super hyped up about football. And I think I know which one we're going to do.
I mean, we'll briefly touch on baseball, but
depends how good the Brewers are.
But speaking of the Brewers, we're kind of back. I mean,
a little bit of a heater. 4 games above 500 again.
I won't know the exact number, but in the last 20 games, we're 15-5 or somewhere around that mark.
It's been good.
The batting has came back around, which is nice to see. Yelich has been awesome.
Yelich's been on a heater. Good to see the young guys are starting to step up a little bit.
Yeah, Durbin just shows up when it matters, and
Durbin the walk-off a night ago, and
Churrio's starting to kind of find his groove a little bit.
He's back up. I mean, he's really good. He's going to go through some slumps because he's 21 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had to worry about Jackson Chourio. He's going to be fine.
No, he's awesome.
It's just a typical young guy starting slow. Baseball is truly a game of streaks. You're going to get hot, you're going to get cold. That's baseball.
Yeah, did you see? He's already back over 250, 10 home runs. He's fine.
I will say, though, in some sadness, Brandon Woodruff, man, just cannot catch a freaking break, dude.
It's actually insane. Last rehab start, scheduled to come back.
Gets beamed by that line drive, right in his freaking throwing arm.
It's brutal.
That dude just cannot catch a break. I mean, I did see the Brewers place him on the 15-day IL, so he is.
It's nothing terrible. In theory, he should be back in a few weeks, but
it's just
we were about to see him this week. We were finally
and that's our guy,
he's been our guy.
It's been Corbin, Burns, and him for the last whatever how long, and then now Corbin just got Tommy John also.
Yeah, I am happy we didn't give him 10 years, $215 million or whatever the hell he ended up getting.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're not doing that at least.
Yeah, same. Glad we're not dancing that dance because, yeah. But, Woody's just if anything that like any Brewer fan can probably agree with, it's they want the best for Woodruff. And
Absolutely.
Woody's been the dude since, truly the NLCS run that we had back in 2018 when I believe he won the Cy Young that year,
I don't think he won it.
but he was in the running.
Yeah.
But either which way, he's our guy, and that it sucks to watch him keep going through this stretch of injuries, even though this one wasn't that big of a deal. But
it's
still,
it's been the teasing, like he's been like about to he had a setback about a month ago too, where we thought we were gonna see him like middle of May.
yeah,
Setback. All right, now we're gonna see him early June. Another setback. Now,
yeah.
okay, maybe we'll see him at the end of June, and hopefully this one actually.
Hopefully it's not July at this point. Now we're talking like the All-Star break instead.
Yeah, I want to see Brandon Woodruff put on the Brewers jersey and start a game. Like
I just want to see number 53 fucking trot out of the fucking in the stadium again, man. Like,
great, give it to me.
That standing O is going to be incredible when he makes his first start.
Absolutely.
But let's go into truly what is probably our best known topic and what we want to talk about is the NBA Finals. We did not get to do a preview podcast. So obviously, as you know, Thunder Pacers. Thunder was just looked like they controlled they did control the entirety of game one. Up until 0.7 seconds left when Hallie hit that 0.3 seconds left when Hallie freaking hit that game winner. I want to say this. I don't know what Indiana did, what deal they made with the devil to just keep doing this, especially Halliburton. Like, how this keeps happening is actually insane. Like, this dude just shows up. I don't want to give him flowers, but I'm going to give him flowers. Like, Jalen Brunson got the most clutch player of the year or whatever. But if we were talking playoffs, it would be Halliburton, hands down. Like,
not even, yeah. Who else is even in the running?
No, yeah, nobody. Like,
Aaron Gordon hit one game winner. That's your runner up.
Yeah. Like, the dude has done it in every series. He did it against the Bucks. He did it against the Cavs. He did it against why am I drawing a blank? The Knicks. Yeah. And then now he does it against the Thunder too. It's like, dude, what, how is this even possible? Did you see the list? It was the top 10 list of it was either game tying or game winning shots going back to 1997, who's in the top 10, and Hallie's already at number 4, and all 4 came this year.
Yeah. This playoff run alone has him 4th all time in game winning shots in the playoffs. It's insane. I mean, just the way they're able to, they can be down 15 points
everybody say hi to Whiskey.
They can be down 15 points with 3-4 minutes remaining, and it doesn't feel like they're out of it because they've done it so many times now. And you can see it with Carlisle. Carlisle's in the huddle telling them to relax, and it's just top down. Siakam believes they're going to win. Halliburton believes they're going to win. Miles Turner believes they're going to win, and they just find a way. They just don't lose these games. It's incredible to watch, honestly. Never watching a Pacers game again will I ever feel like they're out of it because somehow, some way, they always come back and win it.
And this finals, if we did a finals preview, right? And I would have said
real quick, if we did do a finals preview, I had the Pacers winning game 1, 111 to 110.
Okay.
I would have said that.
Okay. Either which way, I would have said Thunder in 4 or 5. I truly thought Thunder are just gonna just run away with this. And now game 2's on. It's tied at 17.
So it's tied up.
Just started. But I didn't expect a Hallie game winner. And especially when the Thunder are up 15 the entire freaking game.
And it just seemed like they were swarming them. Indiana had 20 turnovers in the first half. They didn't know what to do with
But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. They're just if I wasn't a Bucks fan, I actually truly think that I would like watching Indiana basketball.
Probably same.
They are, to their credit, they are a fun team. They're young, they're fast, they just blow and go, they're so much fun to watch offensively. And I can't, it just pains me so bad because of just our recent rivalry with them,
Yeah,
and
losing 2 years in a row to them, being eliminated by them 2 years in a row. It's hard to like a team after that. But
then like the Hallie and Giannis thing, and just like, or well, Hallie's dad, really not. It's not. I'm not actually gonna blame that on Tyrese, but I will too, but
I will hold it against him in my mind.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. But man, they're fun. Like, could they beat the Thunder? I still don't think so, but I could be very wrong. This could go 6 or 7 either way, I think.
I mean, coming into the series, I looked at it and I thought because they already had that kind of like before game one, they already had the like, God, they're just better than they seem for some reason. Like they just win these games that it doesn't feel like they should win. Like they had that going into game one. Game one solidified it for sure, but you
Right.
already kind of had that feeling about them. And I was trying to like talk myself into like, maybe Pacers can get this done in 7 or something. But just the more I thought about it, I went back and forth. I settled on like, no, I think it's Thunder in 5. Like they're just that much better.
I know, like,
But maybe they're not. I don't know.
and maybe we're just idiots, like
Maybe.
it's so hard to like, like we pick Bucks in 4, Bucks in 5. Like I know you said they sweep them. I said 5. Like we said that, right? That didn't happen. They beat us in 5, and then the Cavs series happens, and we're all like, oh well, the Cavs are going to take care of them because the Cavs were the second best team in the NBA next to the Thunder this year. Then they beat them in 5, and it's just like, and then the Knicks. They had the Knicks came back and won one of those games that the Pacers should have won in 5. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, they're now like we're talking the Thunder, and it's like, man, like I want to pick the Thunder so badly. Like, but am I an idiot to not think that the Pacers can't do this? Like,
it's hard not to believe in them. They prove you wrong every step of the way. That being said, the Thunder's still going to win this series. I'm switching to 7, but I still think the Thunder win the series.
I'm switching to 6. Like I think they get it done tonight. This is split going to Indiana, and then if I got to put a guess on it, I would say it splits tonight. And again, by the time everybody listens to this tomorrow or whatever the case may be, I could be very wrong, and Indiana might be up 2-0.
Could very well happen.
I think they split tonight. They go back to Indiana. I gotta believe Indiana wins game 3, but then I could see the Thunder winning game 4. Like I could just see this going like alternating games,
goes back and forth the whole way,
almost all the way through. But that would give Indiana the win. Like,
yeah.
So I don't know, man. I said it in the beginning of the playoffs that I don't think they're as good as advertised, and I was already very wrong. And I'll eat that. But man, they're far better than I even ever thought.
Yeah, I mean they're just a good team. Just 1 through 7 guys who show up, do their part. I mean, Nemhard's played really good defense on SGA, despite SGA having 38 or whatever he had. Took him 30 shots to get there. And like they just like those wings like Neesmith, Nemhard, and they just have like that confidence about them where like are they great players? No, they're not great players, but for some reason they think they are, and that just makes them better.
They're playoff risers, man. They just show up. They just show up when it matters, and it's just like Nemhard, especially. Like,
yeah,
Neesmith, I would say, is better than Nemhard. Nemhard just like, and this isn't a knock on Neesmith at all. Like, but Nemhard, man, like, he's not that good. But just in the playoff, I watched this guy twice.
Good for like 30 games in a row.
2 years in a row, I've watched him twice in the playoffs just beat the dude, like almost. Like Hallie had like, I don't know what Hallie finished with the other night, but like Hallie only had like 6 at half, and I was like, oh, when you see a score line or a box score of like Hallie only having like 6 at half, it doesn't feel like they're out. Like it doesn't matter.
Like he's their best player, but like their supporting cast is good enough where like he's had several games throughout this playoffs where he hasn't played great,
and he doesn't have to,
and they've been fine.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. But
Siakam's kind of the rock there. That's like the consistent. Like he's going to give you 18 minimum.
Yep.
Like you're going to get that out of Siakam every game, and he's kind of that consistent pillar there.
But we talked about it with the NHL. We'll go to the NBA. Like Shea's obviously clear cut, like the best player on the floor, hands down. That should lean towards the Thunder. But I don't know, man. Like Giannis is the best friggin' player on the floor in the Bucks series, and that happened. And then the Cavs.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Cavs
I don't
probably had
know
the best.
I don't think the Pacers have had the best player on the floor in a series yet. I mean, maybe over the Knicks, you can maybe say Halliburton's better than Brunson. You can maybe say Siakam's better than Brunson, but they certainly didn't with Donovan Mitchell or with Giannis, and they don't now with Shea. It's just I don't know if it matters.
I don't think it matters, and
It normally does,
and
but it doesn't for them.
we just talked in the NHL that normally it does with basketball, but the Pacers are living proof that it might not matter. Like
Yeah.
it's I don't know, man. It pains me, I guess. I assume you're rooting for the Thunder, but
Yeah, I do want the Thunder to win. Yeah, I like Chet Holmgren for some reason. I don't know.
I want the Thunder to win. I'm gonna sway towards the Giannis talk for a second. I never believed at all that Giannis was going anywhere.
No.
But the Thunder were one of those teams that was talked about all the time. If the Thunder win, that like you're eliminating Giannis out of that conversation anyway.
Yeah,
I think you are already. I mean, they made the finals. I think you are already. But reportedly, Giannis is trending towards staying, and I don't know why everybody's so shocked by it. It doesn't shock Bucks fans.
No.
So
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Who would have thought that he would stay? Like, oh my gosh. It's just media making up bullshit.
Yeah. Shams getting the clicks, man.
I was gonna say Shams is a liar.
He's a liar.
Again, you heard it on Tavern Takes first. Giannis is staying. Just give us our flowers,
Yeah,
But,
we'll take that credit too.
Yeah. We've been right about a couple things now. We should probably start getting more credit.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm gonna go Thunder in 6 still. But I could see 7, and I could see it going either way. I just don't count out the Pacers anymore. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be surprised at anything that happens in this series. I think it could go either way. I'm gonna go Thunder in 7. I hope it goes 7 games. That's probably what I'm rooting for more than anything because I
more
just want
basketball
to be done.
Yeah. It's my favorite sport too, and I just like. I hate when basketball season ends. I love it too much. Like I love it too much. But
it's a long off season too, especially when you're a Bucks fan because you just hear rumors the whole off season.
And we're just gonna keep listening to it the whole off season. And we're gonna keep running this show year after year after year until either Giannis is A, not a Buck anymore, or B, he's retired.
Yeah, probably.
It primarily runs around Giannis for us, and it just sucks listening to rumors I will say too, just we weren't going to plan on talking Giannis a whole lot, but I will say this just because I don't know how I fall for it every time. Like it gets under my skin still, like every single. And I'm not saying fall for it in terms of like I fall for the bait. He's going to leave. I'm saying I fall for it in the sense of like I don't know why this bothers me all the time, but then when I hear it, it bothers me. Like
yeah, like it's just hard to let it go. Like you should at this point we should be able to just let it go because it's been since like 2017 we've been doing this.
Since probably won his first MVP.
Yeah, and we got 1 year off when we won the title, so we've done it 7 of the last 8 years. So we should be over it by now. But
it just irks me every single time.
Yeah, it makes me angry. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah,
maybe someday I'll get older and wiser and smarter, but it's not happening yet.
I'm too young and dumb and like pure-hearted to my teams yet to want to like get to that stage. I used to work with a guy who rooted for his like team's like downfall essentially just to claim he was right. And then when he was right, because in a lot of times he actually was, and it drove me freaking nuts because I always pin like those people to be like the worst fans.
We got one of them on the pod too. I won't name names, but
yeah,
but I know one of those guys.
And I think some of us listeners may know who he is too, but we won't name names. He's not here to defend himself tonight. So but anyway, we'll wrap things up for tonight. That's kind of this. There's a lot going on, but not a lot going on.
Weird time of year.
It's a weird time of year. We're gonna have to come up with some more stuff. Baseball, golf. Talk about our golf. Talk about. I will say, for all you listeners out there, Oh, couple, yeah. Go to the UP and go golf, Stage Run, and Great Walls, and Timberstone, and probably Sweetgrass, which we didn't get to do, but beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Up there. It's gorgeous.
Tough courses, really test your challenge or your golf game. But
Casino is magnificent there. Sand Valley. Oh, what a great place.
Sawyer won money at the casino. It's just awesome.
I think anybody who sits down there wins, I'm pretty sure.
I won and then I lost. But I mean, I could have just not gambled anymore, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't do that. We're degenerates.
No.
But no, in all seriousness, that was an awesome trip. Like, that's the reason why we didn't pod, you know, the last like 2 weeks. We were all just kind of busy, blah, blah, blah. You know, life is happening, summer is happening. But yeah, beautiful. It's awesome. If you ever get the chance to go up there, take advantage of it.
Wait till July to go though, because we golfed in 50 degrees the whole time.
Yeah, 50 degrees was a little chilly.
Yeah.
Especially when like the dude said that it snowed like a week before.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we just missed the snow. Shame.
Snow cleared up just in time for us.
Yeah, it's a shame. But anyway, that's all I got tonight. You can find us at Tavern Takes on Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Please, for the love of God, go like and subscribe. Share it. Guys, it takes a mere 2 seconds. Just
tell a friend.
Tell a friend. We would love for everybody to join us. We want to do what we can to keep this pod growing. Like and subscribe and share, please. So that's all I got tonight. So you got anything else?
No. Other than go Nick Chubb. Looking forward to it.
Nick Chubb's resurrection. It's the resurrection of Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb 2.0.
Sawyer's going to have a Chubb for Nick Chubb all NFL season.
Those 2nd and 1 carries, I can't wait for them.
It's going to be electric.
It's going to be sick.
We'll talk to you guys soon.